Hey you guys, it's Rick, and I'm here to do some kind of communicating about something new, maybe something old, I reckon. But anyways, I'm kind of sparked to communicate because one of my acquaintances, not hard to know him at all, but it's got Evin Powers. He has a good following, but he's just like, damn, I wish, what is it that I don't have, I know what I don't have. I know the story that I have is that, they can't really pin atheist on me, and they can't really, they pin New Age on me, but that's not really how you, what do they dismiss? You just can't dismiss, he's crazy, or he's making all that up, all of that stuff, I have an answer for everything, and of course that's not true. I can't make any of this stuff up. But anyways, he's called it a Mandela effect of some kind, where he was going to debunk the idea that the pineal gland spoke of in the Bible regards to Jacob and Jacob's ladder, and he found this altar and he anointed it with oil. Just reading the Bible straight up by the letter. In our Bibles, the letter means it kills. He's talking about something that kills. So when you get all caught up on this idea that that wasn't the pineal gland that they were talking about, then you miss the story. Because Jacob's ladder has everything to do with the 7 chakras and the energy traveling up and down it, and it's ultimately grinding up at the 6th chakra, with your pineal gland, and it's known as the stone. I'm sorry, but I can speak about this and not feel like I'm guessing at any bit of it. And, and it's just fun to watch him. I really adore this guy. I still like him no matter what he thinks, because, that's the other thing is, whether we feel this way or feel that way, it's God's will. The whole thing is to trick you right now into this lower conscious. It's almost like, it's meant, something was, it's the world around us belongs to this lower side of us, and so it's rigged in its favor. And people like to say that it's a trick, and it might be a trick, but it just might be the way it is, that this side gets its chance to have its way. But there are ways above it and around and out of it, or through it, which is what we do. And and it's a new age approach, and I think maybe these guys get all mad because you take the blood out of it, you're going to sin, you're letting demons loose, we find, well, you're not really letting demons loose, you're capturing them and you're putting them, they're dissolved through the higher frequencies. Lower frequencies can't handle the higher frequencies. So when you hook up to the higher side of you, this higher frequency is then one way that your carnal mind runs. For a little while, like everything, it's going to run out. So you have to keep going back. But, it's just as simple as that, And I said, how can you get rid of this kind of symbolism? That's one of the only blatant, he saw God face to face and called the place pineal. I mean, wow. And no, we're not talking about this part of the Bible or the body. No, yeah, we are. So it was just that blatant. It's a hard one to chop. And I said, the one that you need to debunk is this one that's in Matthew 6, chapter 6. And it's the whole chapter. Because it teaches you about the tithing and this and that. I've talked about it. I don't want to have to resurface it again. But, it talks about the eye being single, and that the eye is the light of the body and stuff like that. And I said, this is the one that you have to debunk. All right? Because that single eye, they're talking directly to the stone. They're talking directly to the pineal gland of the body. And it's one of those mystical things that are also looked at as, they're talking about if your eyes, it was a typo. Yeah, but don't fall for that either, all right? This is where the simple mind, I don't make this up, I can't. No one, anyone who follows behind me, and I'm going to show you in my books, and I'm going to show you in this thing eventually, how to read this, or when we read things, how to hear it, how to see it. And, there's really no God up there that's looking for your praise. He's not even looking for your approval, He says you can do whatever the hell you want. All right, but the bad part is that you're not going to hell, but you'll create hell while you're here, and you're not going to go to heaven when you're dead. You're going to miss out on this heaven that you can go to right now. But since the world is really more on the line of darkness, we don't have to stay in darkness ourselves. And they tell you that if you can build your house on stone, and remember, this carpenter was not telling us how to either fish by tossing your nets over to the right side, and he wasn't teaching us how to build our house on a strong foundation either. Both of these things are about how to strong mind, how to have peace of mind. This is what's going to be your strength in the long run. So, I noticed my subscribers, I had for a long time, I was like, I don't care to have anything. And then I was like, every day I was looking, it was getting more, one, and then like a week later, another one, and then another week later, one would go down, and then two would disappear, and it's like, what's going on with that? I'm not really worried about all of that, and I would think that, if you're afraid to be in this, really you're not the atheist of the group, and you're really just making more sense of things, and I'm not making any of this up. There are books, there are theories, and science about the mind and how things work, the world around us, the frequencies of beta, our brain waves, how things work. Can't make that shit up myself. But I love passing and sharing it along with you. And you should be proud. You should be proud that there is a brighter and more healthier and more intelligent side to that Bible that makes Christians enjoy blood so much, and has just enough of ignorance to that side that makes atheists dislike every single bit of it. But you'll see that both of those people have been misled on purpose, and that, the road less traveled are those ones that are the ones we are riding, or the ones that we're talking about. And we'll find that road is really less road because it's only you and I that are on this road, where it's an individual's quest to reach this place. And that it's this little place that's going to save us from whatever is going on from the world around us, be it Mandela effect or not. You see that spiritual side of us, that mind, where we keep our thoughts, where we keep our anger, all this stuff. This is an invisible place inside of us that they can never find. And it is in a different frequency. And that's why it remembers things that the outside world, the physical trappings of beta conscious are changing in front of us, in front of our eyes. And it's not like a plant dying and another one showing up in its place. We're getting false echoes of something, less of something that was before. Almost like a bootleg universe of knockoffs. And that's really true. And everyone, that's these people, it's so beautiful. Well, come on. I've been up there, I've been wiped away of all of my fear, but I've also I know when stupid, when I hear something silly. But, no, we're actually slipping a little lower if it's possible. And whoever's behind it, it's certainly not the divine side, because, regardless of what a lot of people pin on the word God, we know that maybe the bad side of this duo is responsible for this, Let's just leave it at that. And, and educate these people on the idea that, take the feminine part of this trio that everyone seems to be missing out on in this Jesus cult, in this Christianity thing, where Mary does not necessarily represent, well, she does in the story, Mother and Joseph, because they don't have to copulate, because this virgin mind, she can come about it on, it's the individual that contains that mind that creates that child in her. So, but they just need to start recognizing and the feminine energy, and to stop knocking it in some way, even in their daily lives. To understand that she may be just wants. Our ideas or our thoughts towards her, towards this feminine energy, could be what keeps us from making it ever over to this other side. So, anyways, love you. Best to you guys. Don't let anyone take away your crown.